video on YouTube yesterday, and she was talking about the third eye. I've got some experience with understanding that kind of stuff because I was a New Ager for a little bit. The third eye is a real thing. That is like a legit gland in our bodies, and I don't know. I mean, I just feel like God didn't just put things in our bodies just for the fun of it. He does everything with purpose. Man, unfortunately, does not do everything with purpose, and therefore, man, when they think about an organ being in your body, such as the gallbladder or the pineal gland, they say things like it has no function, but that's not the truth. Both those things have a function. They tell you, if you're having issues with this, like your tonsils, we'll just take it out. And then everyone that I know who has had some organ taken out ends up having some kind of problems because these things aren't supposed to be taken out of our bodies. If people knew that they could just heal themselves, or rather God heals them and will give them the antidote to heal themselves, then these demons and these devils and these doctors that have made Hippocratic oaths to fallen angels would not be getting the money that they do. They would not have the power that they have. So concerning the third eye, I used to do third eye meditations and all that kind of stuff, chakra meditations. It's all demonic, that kind of stuff, because our source is God. I remember having a Kundalini awakening is what they call it, and I literally felt this energy shoot itself up from the bottom of my spine and out my head. These are the kinds of things that these people were doing in ancient times to connect with these fallen angels. It's just been repackaged in a new way. I think it was Anton LaVey. He is the founder of the Satanic Church, I believe, and like one of his idols was Aleister McCrowley. But he said, concerning New Ageism, give us our religion back, because New Ageism is nothing but a form of Luciferianism. And so, all these people that are saying, you shouldn't judge and just love, light, and peace, it sounds like they're saying something that's really of value, but God gave man the ability to judge and to judge in righteousness. So there comes times in which we're not supposed to judge because we can't do it righteously, but there are times where we are supposed to use judgment, because if we don't, then evil will prevail. And so that's what we see in the world today. And so when you come and correct people, they're like, you're not supposed to judge, God doesn't judge. And I pull up 10 scriptures that talks about God judging and him giving the power to his people to be able to judge righteously, and tells them to do it, and got mad when they didn't. So going back to the topic, third eye meditations lead to nothing but demonic possession. So does chakra meditations. The thing is, the third eye does, however, belong to God. It is part of how we have visions and part of how we connect to God. Your third eye, your pineal gland, secretes melatonin, it secretes melanin. There is a Hebrew letter called the ayin, which means the eye. And there is a verse in the Bible that says if your eye is dirty, then your whole body is dirty. Your whole body is unclean if your eye is unclean. It says eye, it doesn't say eyes. And so this is relating to the pineal gland, and literally the pineal gland has all the same sensors as your regular eyes, and so if you were to take it out of your head, it would actually have the ability to see. So when people are possessed by a demon, like those pharaohs, they had that snake coming out of their forehead that is representing demonic possession, dominance of the enemy over their pineal gland. They have the ability to see in the spirit realm, but they can only do dark things, because it is the devil who has dominion over that. But if you let God have dominion over your pineal gland, you can see as well. I see into the spirit realm. I have visions, and God shows me spirits that's on people. And I saw some woman's eyes the other day. They literally turned into serpent eyes, and she looked right at me. They turned into serpent eyes, and then she put her head down because she knew I saw her. So I used to have demons in people's bodies. I don't know what they were, but they would come up and confess themselves to me. They'd be like, tell me what demon they were and all this kind of stuff. I wasn't even doing anything. I was just heavy in the word, and I was fasting and praying, and I had a very, very strong connection with God. And so those kinds of things would happen to me. There's still weird stuff that happens still, but yeah, I would walk in a place and everyone would just be staring, like everyone. And not because of what I was wearing, because I was very modest, and you couldn't tell me from the next person. But when you are obedient to God, you have a light around you that people can notice. And even before I became a Christian, there were entities trying to come after me, people that call themselves vampires, telepaths, and all this kind of stuff. And they kept calling me a Christian, and I'm like, I'm not a Christian, but he says he chose us from the foundations of the world. So basically, in order to keep our eye in check, you have to become a child of God. You have to come under the dominion of God. Otherwise, the devil can do what he wants with it. We're eating all this stuff, including myself, which is causing issues with your eye. And they're doing these things on purpose. They're poisoning the food. They're making GMOs. They are giving us all these different chemicals. The medicine that people are using is considered sorcery, and it's messing up people's pineal gland. They are trying to program us with all this trash that you see on TV. All this serves to ruin your third eye. That's what it's there for. But the interesting thing, I just read that black people, their pineal gland is usually only calcified 5 to 10%. Asian people is like 20 to 25%. And white people was like 60%. I was like, y'all need to follow them food laws in the Bible, because they're always talking about, no, those food laws are done away with. No, they're not. If you freaking follow the food laws, you probably won't have an issue with all this calcification of your pineal gland. If you follow his law and quit telling people not to, you're getting a double punishment, because you're not following his law and you're telling people not to. And so that's why you can't keep your pineal gland clear. This is why it says it goes first to the Jew and then to the Gentile, because the Jew would serve to have that spiritual seat more clear than what a Gentile does, and because we can speak to God more clearly. And then if you were to let them teach you, then you probably would not be having the issues that you have. But you are not letting them teach you. You want to have your own church, and you want to teach people falsely, and that's why there's no healing in the church, why there's no repentance in the church, why you got white people coming on and they're all like, oh, well, we're supposed to take all this medicine, and God is healing me through taking something called the devil's, what is it? There's something that you call chemotherapy, the devil's something or other. I forgot what it was, but there's a nickname for it. And, logical sense would dictate that you probably should not be pumping something inside your veins that's called the devil's anything, especially if you're calling yourself a child of God. Oh, by the way, I say that because I love you, not because I'm racist and I hate white people. I love everybody, every race. But the unfortunate thing is white people have been deceived. I mean, I guess you can say all races have been deceived into thinking certain things beget life, And I almost think it's more sad because, and maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably harder for y'all to get out of some of the stuff y'all are in spiritually than other races. Because you're surrounded by other people that think the same ways, and your family might think this and all this kind of stuff. So I do commend you if you have gotten out of these types of things. But, you actually have to take the initiative to come out of it if you haven't. We need to learn about our bodies. We need to learn how God made us. We need to stop making things up because we want the easy way out. God really is the easy way out if we actually do as he says and take the time and the due diligence to just be obedient, and he will heal you, and he will show you things. He will show you immeasurable things that you have never seen if you just spend some time with him. So with that said, I'm gonna do a fast. You guys be blessed. Have a good one. Bye.